Hi, I'm Andrew Cox with FLIR Maritime. I'm here to give you a quick demonstration of the M232 camera system. We're here on Captain Dave Phillips' boat. He's a serious offshore fisherman and a FLIR brand ambassador. We recently installed the M232 networked with the Raymarine Axiom system. It's a full pan tilt system. It's our most economical, lowest price thermal camera system on the market today. The camera has full pan and tilt control, either using the hard keys on the Axiom or a touchscreen display. Camera's a pan tilt zoom camera, so I can twist in and you can see we can go all the way into a 4x digital zoom on the camera, or we can back all the way out to a 24-degree field of view. That's 24 degrees horizontal is kind of the sweet spot when you have a camera for close range navigation. It's got a wide enough field of view that you have a lot of situational awareness, but it's narrow enough so objects aren't really closer than they appear. So let's talk about the color palettes in the M232. I go to the menu here, you can see the 8 color palettes that we give you access to. It's basically 4 color palettes and we invert each one of those. The camera boots up in a white hot mode, meaning that the lighter objects in the image are warmer and the cooler objects are darker. We can invert that by clicking on black hot mode, and you can see in the image here that now the darker objects are actually warmer and the cooler objects are actually lighter. We look at some of the other color palettes we have available. The red lens, so our red hot mode. This is really good if you're trying not to ruin your natural night vision. So at night, you can use this color palette and it's not going to damage your natural night vision from looking at bright lights or anything like that at night. One of the other really cool color palettes we have is the fire and ice mode. I really like this. This allows you to, it basically turns the lightest objects in the scene yellow or orange and the cooler objects in the scene, the coldest objects in the scene, blue. So you can think about this if you were looking for something above the waterline, like a person falls in the water, that person would show up bright orange or bright yellow in the image, especially when you have a cool water. Any of the really cold objects are going to show up blue, like an iceberg in the water, something like that would show up bright blue in this image. We also have a rainbow type palette. A lot of people think about this when you think about thermal imaging. People think of this sort of rainbow palette, you know, the predator vision or something like that, a lot of people say. It's all really just user preference. The thermal imager is giving you about 256 shades of gray to work with. It really is just a grayscale image, and we artificially assign colors to that. How's that? All right, let's talk about some of the scene modes. If I go into the menu, you'll see 4 different scene modes that we have. That's basically image optimization modes for the energy that you might expect in that kind of scene. So you've got a daytime running, a nighttime running, a docking mode, and a high contrast mode. As I select these, you'll see the image will kind of change just slightly, and it's kind of like adjusting the contrast and brightness on your TV. If I click on the high contrast mode, you'll see the image actually does change pretty drastically. And that's because that mode is meant to turn the contrast of the image up as high as you can, and it'll actually sort of wash out the image a little bit, but it's optimized in case you were looking for, say, someone falling overboard, where you'd want whatever's in the water to really stick out like a light bulb and you're not really worried about the rest of the scene. Really, this is all kind of user preference. As the scene changes, as you transition from day to night, you're going to find that some of those scene modes look better than others. So it's always good to kind of go through those and kind of decide what looks best for the image right now. We'll go back to night mode, come back out of the image, and you'll see that actually looks a lot different than it did in high contrast or daytime mode.